welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna be filming a brand new video for you guys, and I'm gonna be reading Only Love Can Hurt Like This by Paige Toon. And I hope you guys have this book at your house, if not in your hand. If not, go buy the audiobook. This is the most local. You can get your hands on an audiobook really quick like this. So, yeah. But you read it with me, and do so right now. So, we're going to be reading chapter 4 on page 40. Ooh, chapter 4, page 40. Right on. It says, "Good morning," Cheryl shouts from the kitchen. I can't raise the strength to reply at a volume that would reach her. The highly polished wood of the vanisher is sticking to my slightly sweaty palms as I gingerly make my way down the creaking steps, cringing at the assault on my ears. I make it to the bedroom and have to take a moment, seriously wondering if I'm gonna throw up. "You girls have fun last night?" Cheryl asks with a knowing look from the kitchen. I nod slowly and continue on my way toward her. "Where's Dad?" My voice sounds croaky. "He's out in the orchard, picking peaches. Already? Storm's coming. Thought he'd better get some of the ripe ones off the trees." "I'll go say hi. Want to take a tea or coffee with you?" I shake my head as gently as possible. "Well, take one for your dad." She pulls out a chair for me at the table. I sit down, my stomach churning, as she gets out a tray and fills it with a mug of steaming black coffee, a glass of water, a plate of cookies and crackers, plus a whole banana. I thank her for what I can see is in part a hangover cure and pick up the tray. Last night feels surreal. There were moments where I actually felt happy without Scott. And then there was that walk through that fiery fields and my run-in with Anders? I don't know how to say his name, so I'm just gonna say Andres. As I balance the tray on one hand and open the front door with the other, I wonder what on earth came over me. Waltzing off through dark fields in the middle of the night? No wonder Andres fell off his motorbike at the sight of me. A white-faced woman dressed in all black, appearing from the corn. Appearing from a corn with the full moon overhead. I snigger with amusement at the mental image as I step out into the Vernada? The clear blue skies of yesterday have been invaded by towering, ominous-looking clouds. As I make my way over to the orchards, other snippets from our encounter drift back to me. The memory of Andres' laughs makes me feel as though someone has dropped in effervescent, I don't know what that says, vitamin into my bloodstream. But then I remember that I've probably seen the last of him, and my fizzy feelings are washing away by a wave of loneliness. It's a sensation I'm all too familiar with. Last night was a distraction, a welcome respite from missing Scott. But I'll be thinking about him again now, I'm sure of it. I find Dad in the nearest orchard, Picking up a ladder, the leafy branches of the peach trees are drooping with the weight of fat orange globes attached to them. They look like thousands of miniature setting suns. Hi, Dad. Coffee for you, I call. I do. She's definitely. Wait, sorry. I skipped a page. I hate when that happens. Great. There's a wooden crate nearby, so I use my foot to gently tow it over into an upside down position before placing the tray on this makeshift table. Dad meanwhile eases himself down the ladder, one hand gripping the rungs, the other clutching a wicker basket. He has a twig lodged in his unkempt hair. Oh, I thought it said in his right here. You know, when you're carrying something like this. Yeah. Anyways, you be careful up in that thing. I caution. Although Dad used to be a groundkeeper, he was promoted to student services coordinator during his time at Indiana University Bloomington, and in recent years has spent more time sitting behind a desk than toiling outside in the elements. Always, he replies with a smile, setting the basket down on the ground and groaning slightly as he straightens up the buttons on his blue and black check shirt straining as he leans into a backward stretch. The checks recall Andres in the large check black and mustard shirt. Sleeves rolled up to the elbows, worn open over a faded black t-shirt with black jeans and desert boots. Though the outfit was a world away from anything my dad would ever wear. So, a storm is coming, hey? I ask, trying to tug my thoughts away from Andres as I unpeel my banana. Looks like it, Dad replies. Scrutinizing the sky, his coffee cup now wedged in his hand. Thunder, lighting, enmascarado en parking. Okay, anyway, sorry, that was a Bad Bunny song, FT Eladio Carrion, if you know, you know. Sorry, thunder and lightning. I was saying it in the way the song says the words. Whatever. Sorry. Thunder and lightning. Oh my god. The song is stuck up here now. Thunder and lightning. Thunder and lightning, all things frightening. That's what Mom used to say. Or that's what Mom used to say. I know she did, he replies, not meeting my eyes as he takes a sip of his coffee. He places his mug on the tray and turns over another couple of crates, gesturing for me to take a seat. How was your night with Bailey? Good, feeling a bit rough today though. You two drink much? Dad asks, assuming my flat mood is entirely to do with my hangover. Quite a bit. Dad tuts and shakes his head, his crate creaking. So, who's the bad influence? I don't know if he genuinely, is that how you say it? Genuinely wants an answer or if he's teasing me. But I think on it. We're probably both as bad as each other. I decide, trying to remember if Bailey and I have ever really clicked when we've been under the influence of alcohol. She's naturally outgoing and super sociable, and I come out of my shell more when I've had a few, so it wouldn't surprise me. Dad picks up a cookie, munching away contentedly. He still has that twig in his hair. I met your neighboring farmers, I tell him. One of them, anyway. They were out at Dirk's. Patrick and Peggy were at Dirk's? Dad asked with surprise. No, Andres and Jonas. And, yeah, Jonas, I believe. Oh, well, Jonas doesn't. Sorry, not Jonas. Andres. Oh, well, Andres doesn't farm. He tells me what I already know. Jonas does, though. He's been taking over things from his parents. Patrick and Peggy? Yes. I thought they all had Swedish names. Yes, well, Peggy married into the family, and it's Patrick without a C. Ah, I abstractly plucked that letter out of the spelling of his name. We haven't seen much of Patrick and Jonas since we moved here, but Peggy's a real friendly lady, Dad says. She's tried to get at us. She's tried to get us to come to church a couple of times, but you know Cheryl. I do. She's not definitely. She's defiantly a beast. Peggy didn't mention. What? Where are these words coming from? Peggy didn't mention Andres was coming home. Dad Muses? I don't know. He works for an Indy car team, you know? Yes, Cassie? Yes, Cassie mentioned it. I've been hoping to meet him. You haven't yet? No, Peggy said that he never comes home during racing season. Racing? Like car racing? But obviously that's not entirely true. If he's here now, he'll be heading to Toronto the week after next. So he must be very busy at work. Dad has been a motorsports fan for as long as I can recall or remember. I'm not surprised he knows Andrew's racing schedule. He's only here for the weekend, I say. Maybe we could invite them over for a drink later. Fine by me, I replied, wondering if he can hear the waver in my voice that's caused by a small little scope of butterflies taking flight in my stomach. Later on, when we get back inside, Cheryl reports that the radio warned of tornado weather. It certainly looks dark out there. Hailstones arrive before rain, and I stand at the living room window and watch, awestruck as round ice cubes pelt down from above, turning the lawn almost as white as snow. The sound of them hitching the roof is like 100,000 hammers banging away at once. It's ear-shattering, and the rain that follows soon after is almost as defining, maybe? The sky flashes with distant lightning, followed by thunder that reverberates through the walls. I keep an eye out for lightning forks and wonder if the main body of the storm is yet to reach us. I hope Bailey made it into work okay, Dad says with concern from beside me. I check my I was gonna say I check my check. Oh my god. I check my watch. It's 12:30. So much for her coming here this morning to nurse our hangovers together. It's not the first time Bailey has made a decision on the spur of the moment and a promise she won't keep. But she did cheer me up last night, and I'm grateful for that. Maybe it's enough that we have fun together occasionally without any great expectations of sisterly bonding. It's unlikely we're going to grow much closer in the next 2 weeks. Anyway, despite my earlier optimism that we might without Scott around, I'll call her, Dad decides, digging his phone out of his pocket as he leaves the room. Jealously needles me. He hardly ever calls me. Bailey lives nearby. I reason with myself. She's in the same time zone. It's easy, convenient to call her. But there's no denying that Dad and Bailey have a much closer relationship than he and I do. She would never hesitate to pluck a twig out of his hair. Dad returns a couple of minutes later when the rain has died down. She and Casey are at work, he says with relief. The golf club has a cellar. I turn to look at him properly. Are you genuinely worried about a tornado? It's the right weather for him, he murmurs, scratching his peppery stubble, whatever. Suddenly he tenses, his eyes widening. What? He holds up his hand to silence me. And then I hear it, a high-pitched whine coming from our side. That's the tornado siren, Cheryl. Dad shouts up the stairs. I heard it. I'm coming, she shouts back. What are we going to do? I ask with a flutter of panic as the town's warning siren continues to wail. Basement, Cheryl replies. Call Bailey, let her know. Dad whips out his phone again and ushers me toward the room under the stairs. Why do we have to let Bailey know our every move? I wonder as Dad hastily fills her in. I answer, I realize, is probably so the emergency services know where to find us if our house is flattened. Terror momentarily locks my feet in place. I've seen Twister. This is happening. I've never experienced a tornado warning. Cheryl had some close run-ins when she was growing up in Oklahoma, a state that's right in Tornado Alley. Her father moved her family to Indianapolis for work when she was a teenager, and she had a couple of near misses there too. And also with Dad in Bloomington, but somehow the thought of a tornado siren in a populated city seems less scary than hearing one out in the middle of nowhere. I feel very vulnerable. I don't know. Someone pounds on the floor. Dad hurries over and wrenches it open to reveal a senior woman in a bright pink raincoat standing there with water running off her hood. Quick, she urges. Come, use our shelter. Thank you, Peggy. Dad gushes with relief. Grab your coat, Ren. Let's go. As soon as I pull the hood of my gray coat over my head, the wind rips it off again. Leaves are being torn from the trees, and my mid-length brown hair is whipping around my face like a Medusa with a head full of snakes. My curls are the snakes. Peggy is sliding behind the wheel of her gator, a small green utility vehicle, and there's enough room for two more people to squeeze onto the front bench seat beside her. But before I can get my head round the idea of climbing into the Soden, I believe, open loading bay, I hear a sound that is all too familiar. A mud-splattered white and yellow motorbike roars into our drive, sending a cascade of rainwater hurtling outward as it strides into a 180 and jolts to a stop. Okay, we know who is on that motorbike. We know. And we stand. Well, not yet. We don't stand for him yet. Just yet. Because we don't really know him. But maybe further on to the book we will. I don't know. We'll see. I lean backward, but too late. I'm so from the knees downward. I'm wearing a skirt. Bruh. You're wearing a skirt while a tornado is happening? Who? Who does that? Like, okay. Okay, but I get it because she didn't know this tornado was going to happen before, into the day. So I get where she's coming from, but whatever. Still, you shouldn't wear a skirt. But the socks beneath my ankle boots are drenched. Get on, the writer commands, his face half hidden by the dark green hood of his raincoat. Cheryl and Dad are already clambering onto the front bench of the gator. My heart is rabbiting against my rib cage as I hesitate, eyeing the cargo space behind them. The siren is still sounding in the distance. Peggy sets off, and I catch sight of Dad's pale face, wrought with anxiety as he looks back, shouting words that are snatched away by the wind. "Ren!" Andrus yells, because obscured through his face might be. Of course it's him. Bloody hell, I murmur. My butterflies spiraling into a frenzy as I hoik my leg up and over the back of his bike. It's not a beast of a machine, not like the ones you see out on the road, but the navy seat is higher than it looks, and the rain coating it seeps straight through the fabric of my shirt. I've barely placed my hands on Andrew's waist before the motorbike lurches forward, almost sending me flying straight off the back. There's nowhere to put my feet, so I grip him hard, too shocked and breathless to cry out as he tears down the dirt road. Water and mud splattering in our wake. The sky is dark, and there's an eerie greenish tinge to the clouds. Up ahead looms the big red barn I saw last night, but Andrews turns right well before it. But I was gonna say behind, but no. Down a tiny dirt track behind the farmhouse and a field of maize, basically. The house mirrors the barn in style and color, but that's all I have time to notice. Go, Andrews orders, nodding toward Dad as we pull to a stop at the back of the house. Dad and Cheryl are out the gator, the latter running across the sodden, lawn after Peggy, while Dad frantically beckons to me. Peggy? Peggy and Cheryl reach a mound about 20 feet away, which has a metal door built into its side at a 45-degree angle. Oh my god, she's a mathematician now. Oh my god, no. It opens to reveal a dark tunnel and the glowering face of a man I don't recognize. He holds out his hand to help Cheryl inside. I scramble off the bike. Peggy is looking over at us anxiously, but Andres is not getting off his bike. Are you coming? My pulse is racing. He shakes his head. Not yet. Why not? I ask with alarm. I've got to find my brother. Andres! Peggy gives a startled cry as he revs up his engine and tears away. A feeling of dread comes over me as I watch him go. Where is his brother? She's worried about him. She's worried about Andres. Maybe his brother? But she just wants Andres to be with her the whole freaking time. Yeah. I thought I said it wrong for a second, but whatever. I didn't. Thankfully. Anyways, that was it of chapter 4. Like I said, we read Only Love Can Hurt Like This by Paige Toon. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.